Go.
All right. It is Friday, April 17th. Welcome to Friday Night This Fans View Live. We have Carl, John, Lauren, and Anthony, and myself. And tonight we're going to do a little bit something different. John came up with the numbers game. I guess we'll come up with a better name for it. John, would you like to explain what's going on with this?
It's called Who Wore It Best.
There we go. That's a better name for it.
And so we just signed a new contract for 99 weeks. So so we're going to have 99 games that we're going to play. One week each show we'll have a game or a number, and the top player from each Philly sports team that wore that number will be the guys that we're going to debate who was the best. This week is number one, so we got a tough matchup this week. We got Richie Ashburn for the Phillies. We got Bernie Parent for the Flyers. We got Tony Franklin for the Eagles, and Josh Richardson for the Sixers. So get your votes in. Make your comments on different stories. We know who the favorite is here. But it's going to be a tough one this week with Richie Ashburn both being his baseball career and also with his broadcasting career.
Right.
I got friend requests out to Bernie Parent and Jeannie, but both of them haven't responded yet, so they may or may not get my vote, depending on if they got time.
Same here, John. I've been waiting for a while.
It's been a while. But just saying, it may sway a vote here or there, but this could be a close one.
Got a friend request for Richie Ashburn too?
I do.
Yeah, you might be waiting a little while for that one too.
He responded though.
Huh?
But so we'll see. Just throwing that little tidbit out there.
Little tidbit. Right.
Yeah, just
So what you're saying? You can be bought?
Possibly.
Not bought, swayed.
Swayed.
So
yeah.
I do have a question though about Richie Ashburn.
Mm-hmm.
Because he never won anything with the Phillies, right?
Right.
But yet he is so beloved.
Mm-hmm.
Could you relate that to somebody that's a current player or like at least a more recent former player? Like who would our modern day Richie Ashburn be?
Ooh, good question.
That's a good question.
Well, the Eagles didn't win anything for a long time, so who would have been on their team?
That's a good question. I mean, maybe like
Reggie White.
Maybe
you want current.
Somebody.
I want to keep it in. I want to keep it in the Phillies. So like Darren Dalton.
Yeah,
he would be. Yeah. I mean, what made Richie Ashburn as well? He had the broadcasting career that brought us baseball with Harry for all those years.
Sure.
So that on top of his baseball career.
1950 Whiz Kid.
Right.
I mean, the Whiz Kids are still very popular today.
Exactly.
I mean,
I think it's hard. I think it's hard to get a player, but like maybe like a Darren Dalton type of player or a John Kruk that did go in the broadcasting a little bit.
Okay.
That did it as far as not winning.
Right.
Right.
That 93.
We already have people voting, by the way.
Good. That 93 team was always beloved.
Because I was going through your choices, and I have to be honest with you. I don't know who Tony Franklin is. I've never even heard of him in my life.
It was way before your time.
That way. No.
Way enough.
Poor Tony owns a Lexus car dealership in Texas.
Okay.
He was a barefooted kicker for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean,
I prefer to buy my Lexuses here in Philadelphia.
but you're talking like you never heard of him, like he's not even in existence.
I've literally never heard of him, not one.
Okay, all right.
I'm just going through the options here.
He was a very good kicker.
And
Yeah,
then
he was actually with the Super Bowl team, wasn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
Here I am defending Josh Richardson, Tony Franklin, and who's the other guy? Richie Ashburn.
Yeah.
There's only one horse in this race, guys. Come on.
Oh,
Well, I
God.
mean,
There's
Richie
only
Ashford's
one.
a pretty big horse.
There's only one horse in this race.
Okay.
Oh. I'm waiting for that friend request to come back in, but I'm leaning that way. I mean, he did bring us 2 Stanley Cups.
Wait a sec. Wait a
He's on
sec.
the show. He was on the show twice.
John O'Brien, did you not put their furniture together?
I did.
You did all that. You can't get a friend request.
I can't.
Huh?
You need to phone a friend.
I would think so. Don't you think?
Huh?
I would think so. I mean, they were on the show with us twice, and
No, I think you got bigger friends than that.
well, I know.
Yeah.
I'm talking to one right now.
No, your other friend.
You never asked. You never asked me.
I know, but I didn't think I would have to after doing work at their house and being on the show. I mean,
Maybe one of the legs fell off.
maybe it could have happened.
Oh, Jesus.
But that was the screwed up Ryan put in.
I knew the blame was going to lie somewhere.
But no, I mean, this is definitely going to be one of those 2 battles between the 2. Who's your heartstrings with?
Well, I'm going. If
but-
Ron doesn't win, I'm going into hibernation. So
Well, I agree. I would have to, even being as loyal of a baseball fan as I am, I would have to go with Bernie as well. But give me that friend request though.
If Richie Ashburn had won a championship in Philadelphia, it might be a little bit more. But he's still a Hall of Famer. He's a close second, but he's probably not.
That's what I went with. Both of them are Hall of Famers, so it's hard to go off of that. And
But Bernie's more recent. He's also more out in the community.
Yep.
So just more recent because he's still present. That's why.
Poor John.
yeah, Richie's buried.
Tony Franklin.
Richie's buried. He can't get out in the community.
Yeah, if he did, that would be
community.
that would be a little scary.
But yeah, I mean, I mean, as a baseball fan, Richie's going to be, there, but Bernie got 2 championships, so I mean, I think it's, 49-51% thing, and it just the 2 championships sways them over to Bernie. That's my opinion, but
I just have a feeling Bernie's going to win.
oh yeah, no, I mean,
Not. I don't think it's even going to be close. I think Bernie's going to win.
Can I ask a question?
You can.
Josh Richardson, how come you guys aren't throwing his name out there?
well, he's only
Just
one
had to
year.
find someone from the Sixers.
Wait, there's no
That was the
there's no better number on the Sixers. That's the only guy on the Sixers with that number. There's no.
Well, Orlando Woolrich was the other guy.
And to that I say, who?
Yeah.
Well, I guess stick with Josh Richardson.
He,
And you're in a basketball.
He's a car salesman at Tony Franklin's.
Yeah. he works in the service department.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-huh.
You're a tough crowd.
Exactly.
You're a tough crowd.
This is a tough room.
Whew.
All right, so we each get to cast our vote. So, John, tally them up. Mario, who's your choice?
I got to go Bernie.
Dad?
Come on.
Right. Tony?
I would say Bernie by a hair. By a hair.
By a hair.
Yeah.
What, one of these?
Yeah.
That's a long hair.
Those ever-growing hairs?
I'm a baseball guy, and he's in the Hall of Fame, and he was a great announcer. But yeah, it's close. But Bernie by a hair.
Exactly.
I'm going Bernie as well. John?
We'll make it a queen's sleep, even though.
Can I throw a challenge flag?
Sure.
Can Mom get a vote?
Yeah,
Sure.
I can see her, so yeah, sure.
Everybody gets a vote. That's what
I
this,
love when she does that. Oh, you can see me?
With your hair.
Oh, you can see me?
I'm moving. Pretty soon you're going to be thinking it's your grandmother when all her gray hair comes in.
Well, just shave her head like you do yours.
Oh, God.
Look at this thing, man. Come on. Seriously.
Well, over this pandemic, I learned how to dye hair, so I'm taken care of.
Wow, look at you.
I'll come up. Can you dye mine?
Absolutely.
Oh, you're not allowed. You don't have a license.
Well, I don't have a license, so it doesn't matter. I can do it.
I'm going to vote Richie Ashburn.
There you go. She's rooting for
You're voting for Richie.
Wow.
That's a good vote.
All right.
Yeah.
Sue, throwing a wrench in things.
She'll no longer vote for anybody. So that's the end of her.
Well, everybody's votes count. Everybody, all the viewers put their votes in, and then I'll tally them up at the end of the day, and we'll go from there. You know, I mean, there's going to be some other ones. I mean, this was a tough one.
We actually have somebody vote for Tony Franklin.
I saw that.
You know, I mean, there'll be some other tough ones. You know, we all have our favorites of players.
Yeah, most of them are Bernie.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's going to be Bernie, but
there is a Tony Franklin in there, which kind of shocked me. But
yeah, I mean,
Maybe she bought a Lexus in Texas.
you never know.
We have no Josh Richardson though, so
No. Shocker.
I think he's gonna come in dead last.
Well, the one year, it hurts him a little bit.
Right.
So can I answer Sean Wyatt's question about number 30, since no one else wants to address it?
Sure.
I'm not
Yeah, go
allowed.
ahead.
I'm not allowed to look at comments. That's why I don't have.
Oh, are we live?
He wore number 30 as a rookie. He came here, as
Oh.
number 30, and he wore it, I believe, his first year here.
Right.
But that didn't last very long.
And that is correct, but he's mostly known for number 1.
Sean is also saying tie between Bernie and Richie.
Yes.
No, he's got to pick one.
He's got to pick one.
Yeah, you do have to pick one. I mean,
I'm gonna reply to him.
it's definitely a tough choice, but you have to go with Bernie just because of the championships for Philadelphia.
Well, here's the thing. So I made my decision pretty quick because I had time to think about it. But if I was put on the spot, it would take me a while to think about it. I mean, Bernie would edge out Richie. I mean, I too am baseball over hockey, but Bernie brought us 2 championships. So
All right, and that's what when it's going to be tough choices, kind of what you're going to lean to.
right.
Like we were talking earlier in the pre-show here, number 26 is going to be enough of another tough decisions.
Right.
I think before you get to 26, you've got 20.
Oh yeah, well you got 20, you got 10.
That's going to be fun.
6 is even going to be a hard one.
So,
Who we got for 2? Who do we got coming up for 2?
Grammy Hammer.
Andy Hamner.
What did she say?
Granny Hammer.
Somebody please tell her it's Granny Hamner.
AMNER.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I give up.
Moses Malone. And probably we have the Flyers one's a little bit harder, but probably leaning towards Mark Howe.
what the other?
All right.
What
All right.
we missed here?
All right.
David Akers is the other one. And
Ever hear him, Lauren?
Granny
I've
Ham.
heard of him. Mm-hmm.
Granny Hammer.
So there's going to be a little tough. Three's going to be another tough one. Yeah, we're going to have Iverson and Harper. So
I think we should just run the board tonight.
That's it.
no, we gotta drag this thing out. We got a long contract.
Did you get the check?
I did.
Okay.
And plus, the longer we go, the sponsors will realize, hey, we're in it for the long haul, and they'll jump on board.
And they'll know we're not even live.
Okay, we'll show it that when it's time, it comes live. It'll be on.
Well, we could get on, so here's our half-ass video.
Oh God.
That little
All right.
live on Facebook will pop on real soon.
Uh-oh, wait, the boss is jumping in. She's reeling us back in.
No, we're switching gears. We're good
All
here.
right, switching gears.
Moving on to the NBA basketball horse competition.
Ooh.
I watched that.
Ooh.
I forgot it was on.
Well, it was on right after one of the shows we did,
Sunday night.
which is the only reason I knew it was on.
Well, the finals were on last night.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
didn't watch
didn't
last
watch it?
night.
No, I didn't watch finals.
Neither did I.
It's the
But
same.
I
when
did
you-
watch
it's
the
the-
very first show.
It's the same as when you watch wrestling and there's no fans there. I can't get into it. It's boring.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I like basketball, but that was really boring.
Well, here's the problem that I have. So Mike Conley, who won, right? He's got a $10 million gym built into his house, and he gets to play indoors in a climate-controlled gym, right? The rest of everybody else is playing where? You know, that one girl was where? Where was she from? Illinois, Minnesota?
No, she was in she played for the Indiana Fever in Indianapolis. It was like 20
Yeah.
degrees outside.
And it was snowing for
The
crying
wind,
out
the wind was
loud.
blowing 16 miles an hour, and the balls were going off.
Gotta love ESPN. They do things right.
Yeah, they had at least everyone inside or outside to be fair, because that wasn't fair.
No. Yeah, it was the wind. The wind was blowing, and even the first one with what was it? Chauncey Billups was that the when he had a nice outdoor court, but even he was saying,
But still outside.
right outside the wind was blowing.
So was the other guy. You know, he went against Trey Young.
Young, yeah, and he was just in his driveway. I think I had a nicer court than he did.
I pretty much lost interest in it after watching the first one. It was like watching paint dry.
Now, can you get more into the when they had the baseball on Comcast the other night? Could you get into that at all, rather than
No,
Because I at least like listening to it. I don't know.
but it's a video game.
Yeah, I know, but at least it's the announcers, and it's better than I don't know.
Here's
It's
Yeah,
just
it's tough.
it's not the same. It's not
Yeah.
the same. I honestly I don't even know how much I would be able to get into a game if there's nobody watching it. If there's nobody in the stands watching it, I don't know if I can get into it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
If we play at all this year, that's what it's looking like it's going to be. So
I know.
I don't know if we have much of a choice. I mean, I'm going to want to watch baseball, but it's going to be hard to get into it when it's, there's no, someone hits a home run, there's no.
But I imagine it's going to be different when it's what we know
What do you mean?
and what we're used to. A baseball game, two teams playing the same way we've always watched baseball. Yeah, it's going to suck that there's no fans, but we've never watched a horse competition before, and we know it's just an attempt at a fill-in for live sports.
Right.
It's not the real thing.
Yeah, it's like a home run derby.
Right.
But to go
But the home run derby, there's people in the stands.
Well, but just if you were doing home run derby at your own house type of thing,
Right.
at
It's
your
just
ballpark.
But so do you give them an A for effort in trying? So
absolutely.
trying to do the horse thing, Major League Baseball trying to do the video game thing, or would you prefer nothing? Would you prefer them just to
No.
say, you know what? Whenever we can come back, we'll do it, but there's no second option to our great sport.
I'm probably definitely in the minority, but I don't think that Major League Baseball has explained. Every player on every team has a player that's playing for that team. So Rhys Hoskins is
Right.
playing for the Phillies. Cole Tucker's playing for the Pirates. The problem is I don't even know when those games are on. I knew when the horse thing was on.
Right.
Then I watch it after the next day. There's clips on Facebook, and it looks like it was pretty fun. Like they're having fun. Rhys Hoskins versus Cole Tucker or whatever. But I don't know when it's on. I don't know anything about it. I don't know how long it goes.
Are they not advertising it?
Well, in typical Major League Baseball form, and I love them, but they don't know what the heck
doesn't sound like it.
they don't know what they're doing.
Why don't they put it on the network the way thing was on ESPN? Why doesn't
There
the
are-
Major League Baseball network do it on there?
There are some games that are supposed to be on the network. A lot of these other
What,
games
like the good ones?
sometimes, but most of them are on that Twitch, which is what the Reading Phillies are on Twitch.
Is that online?
Yeah,
Is that a website?
It's a website, but the problem is if you're not, what person
Hip to the no.
what person knows about that unless you're like a young kid?
Right.
Right.
So it could be fun to listen to like Reese Hoskins, talking smack on another player, but if you can't see it, we don't even know it's on.
Right.
They don't do a great job marketing themselves. They have a good product and they don't market it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, they're trying to get that younger generation now because that's what they think is lost by going to Twitch, but you're not advertising it.
Right.
But
I mean, notice the hockey league's not trying to do anything. I mean, football's got the draft next week, so I don't really need to do anything. But
Right.
yeah, unfortunately, I think both the NBA and NHL is going to be
Well,
done this year.
I certainly have information, but I can't reveal my sources. It's not looking good. Obviously, it's not breaking news, but it's not looking good for NBA or the NHL now. They've tried and they've tried and they've tried, but from the people that we know and talk to, it doesn't look like that's probably going to happen. Not
who
that
are these people that you know and talk
I
to?
can't reveal the sources, but I'm telling you, it doesn't look like they'll finish out the season, and they're obviously not happy about that. But
So what happens? It's
over. All right, you play next year. There's no champion. You just play next
So they're going to have just no championship this year.
year. And it looks like potentially, they could be starting, and this is just a rumor, but they could be starting in like January. They're definitely not starting in the fall.
right.
Wow.
So they would be starting in January or February if this is figured out.
Sure.
So
Oh, yeah.
that's the latest update.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the NFL is going to have, is in the same situation. They don't want to say that they're out, but they're going to be out, like you said, until January at least.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are going to be delayed.
Or fans.
I don't know if they'll play either. I mean, you just got the first the NFL player just got what's from the Rams. He just got the virus.
Second one today, Von Miller.
Yeah.
Von Miller, okay.
And a Ram player yesterday. Hey, let me paint this picture. 4th and 1, you're on the goal line, right? Right? No fans. No fans to taunt the defense. No fans to taunt the offense. Come on, seriously?
I know.
You're gonna play these games. Bases loaded, 2 out.
Mhm. Well, listen, money rules the world, and there's a lot of money in television contracts, and there's a lot of people sitting home. They'll make money. It won't be fun for us as fans, but
All right.
do it.
I'm going to challenge you. I've never challenged you before, but I'm going to challenge you now.
All right, what the hell?
All right? I think you've lost your mind.
I've been in here a long time.
All right? Look, I understand the money. I understand the TV contracts. If it were that easy and you're telling me money rules the world, then why isn't there a resolution?
No. I'm not saying that it's definitely going to happen. The problem is, like we talked about before, like when we talked about baseball, if Bryce Harper has a baby or someone's grandparents pass away, it takes 14 days to get back in that mix. So that's probably why it won't happen.
Right.
If it does happen, it's going to be an empty stadium. Either way, it's not going to be fun.
It's not going to happen because you got the union representing the players, and they're never going to allow that.
Well, in football of all sports, you have so many people on the sidelines. You have so many reporters. It's just not – I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we see any sports until sometime next year, and that's being optimistic. And potentially, not to be negative, but some sports at the beginning of next year might not happen unless there's a vaccine. So –
Right.
And they're saying vaccine probably not till
My cup is
December.
empty.
no.
So I don't know if you guys saw this one or not, but Dad, you'll be a big fan. There was a tweet yesterday from an Angelo Cataldi
One of my favorites.
that reads, Mike Trout thinks it's too much to ask baseball players to start the season under quarantine. He's making $36 million a season, but he sees only red flags about a plan to return. Trout is nothing more than a pampered, spoiled brat. It's time to unmask the Millville fraud. So, aside from him not liking Mike Trout. So
That's your problem.
No. You know what the problem here is? He loves Mike Trout, and
Sure.
he knows if he spits those words out, people are going to listen.
Right.
Okay, it's all about ratings.
Sure,
Okay,
first of all-
and right now all they're doing is firing all their employees. They're not even laying them off. They're firing them because they have no money. And Anthony, you can attest to this because it's all about marketing, right? And you got nothing to market.
Well, first of all, he's the same guy. He's looking for ratings. There's nothing else to talk about.
Sure.
They talked about how much everyone hated Bryce Harper. Now everyone loves Bryce Harper. So as soon as Mike Trout would come to the Phillies, he would be in love with him. So first of all, it doesn't matter how much Mike Trout makes. He's right. People need to be safe. So
Well,
it's just a ploy to get some ratings or something.
and here lies the same situation because last week it was Zach Wheeler, who the Phillies just signed, who's going to have a baby any day. Mike Trout's wife is pregnant, going to have a baby any day. Carson Wentz going to be a father any day, right?
So there's a common factor here across
Yes, absolutely. These
Right.
guys realize, yeah, we're baseball players. They don't know how much they're going to get paid. They don't know if they're going to get paid this year or not.
Mhm.
Okay? So, why am I going to risk my young wife, my infant child up against all this craziness?
Right.
Well, Cole Hamill said, whatever, sounds good. 5 months, wherever you want me to go, just let me know.
Yeah.
He just wants to get away from Heidi for crying out loud. That's all he wants.
But it's never going to happen. You can't have guys secluded for that time without their families.
Right.
Right. No way. I mean, what do you do?
I agree with you. I
when you have
agree
to
with
call
you.
players? There's nowhere to. Where are you calling up the players from?
And like you said, if you have to call up a player for somebody injured, that person's got to sit for 14 days before you can even be put up on the
Right.
on the roster. So
Right. So if you're a pitcher and your arm gets hurt, there's no calling someone up for the next day. You got to wait 2 weeks.
Right.
I hate to bring politics into the show
But
because I hate them all. I don't care what side of the aisle they sit on, right? But you got the guy in Washington. Now all of a sudden, it's all the governors and all the heads of states. It's all now their responsibility, right? Last week it was a different story. They can't agree on anything. How are you going to agree?
they're not going to.
You have no vaccine. You have no way to protect these people.
Right.
You're taking the fans out of the equation. Well, how about all the players and all the secondary people behind the teams, all the people that the coaches, all the people, the medical staff, the traveling, people that clean the uniforms. You're only talking about 25 players, but there's probably another 75 people that travel with the team.
Right.
Well, and even if the in the fall potentially numbers could go down just like the flu would, but as soon as you get 100,000 people at a stadium in Texas,
It's going to take.
It's going to go right back up.
it's going to go right back. They're going to fly around the country and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening either.
Now, so what they're saying is for phase 1, you're allowed 10 people at a gathering, and phase 2, you're allowed 50 people at a gathering. So even until we get to phase 2, they're not going to be able to play anything, even without fans, because you're going to have more than 10 people there.
and who made up these phases? Because how can a gym be open for phase 1?
So
Everybody's sweating.
I was actually talking to a friend of mine who owns a gym in Delaware. She actually put together a really good plan so that she could open her gym and still have people be within 6 feet of one another, and also had plans to how she was going to sanitize everything after they were done using it. So, I mean, she sent me the plan. It was like 7 pages long. I read as much of it as I could. It looked good. She's going to send it to the governor and see what happens. But I think they need to start doing something because people are going nuts. They are absolutely going crazy.
Well,
I heard Florida's going to open up the beaches this weekend. They're opening them up at night, and they're only opening up the ones in the areas where the cases have been low.
But don't you find it fascinating that there is so much push to get things open because people are going nuts? Like, there's no thought to, like, there is a very highly contagious, slightly deadly disease just sweeping the nation.
Yep.
Everyone's going nuts. So now we got to figure out how to get things open and risk people's lives because we're too tired to sit at home. I've never heard such
Well,
an American in all my life.
The problem is that people generally, yes, there are people getting sick and dying, but in your everyday travels, most people aren't seeing anyone sick or dying. And
Right.
people are stubborn and they don't want to sit at home. So they say, I'm not going to get it. And then it's too late. So I was telling you guys the other day, my one of the guys clients drove to Florida. He said, the further you get down south, the more people you see on the road not taking it serious. So yeah, I could see Florida open the beaches, and guess what happened? Then it just continues, and we're in the house for longer.
Right. Well, just for example, with history, with the Spanish flu back in 1918, they were saying, I just saw a thing today about Philadelphia opened it back up early, and then they had 6,400 people die because of it.
So I got into a conversation with somebody yesterday about this, and they couldn't understand the way I was thinking. So Target and Walmart are open, which is causing people to congregate in certain areas. My thought was close all the areas of the store that are not essential.
Right.
All the clothing areas, close them. They could not understand why I wanted to do this.
Right. Well,
Like, well, if you have everything open, people are going to go there just to get out of the house.
well, yeah, there are states right now that have tried to mandate that, like Vermont and Michigan said, if you're a Walmart or Target, you cannot have clothes open. You cannot have anything other than food,
Right.
Water, whatever. But I don't know that that's easy to just say that. I don't know where that ended up, but there's only a few states doing that. Most people are, when you go out to these stores, there's people buying groceries like we are, but there's a lot of people screwing around in the electronics section and doing stuff they're not supposed to. So, but I don't know.
They're touching things.
It's a slippery slope because, like, okay, a beer distributor can be open because they sell chips, and that's the thing. But like a liquor store can't be open because they don't sell chips. Well, no one.
Well, no, the liquor stores are closed because they're owned by the state, and the state shut down. So therefore, anything run by the state needs to be shut down.
Right, but the state also mandated that a beer distributor is an essential business. They needed to
Which,
cut off the
yeah,
essential list.
that makes no sense to me.
So, all right, enough coronavirus talk. Next Thursday, draft. What do you guys got? So it's looking different this year, but they're obviously not all gathering in Las Vegas, although a month ago they were full steam ahead.
Right.
So where does one watch this? Is this another MLB Twitch situation where we don't know where we're supposed to watch it, but we're going to all watch? Is it on the NFL Network?
Yeah.
Is it on
Yeah.
Facebook?
Zoom.
What?
On Zoom.
They're doing it on Zoom?
No, it'll be on the NFL. It'll be on the NFL.
You have
Oh,
a
you never
million
get
people
on.
on Zoom.
It'll be on the NFL Network. It'll in the ESPN, but it'll be, like this.
They're going to
the
record it and show it later.
So then how does it work? Like when you go to do the draft, they obviously pan to like a few of the guys that they think might go.
Right.
So how's this going to look? They're just going to we're just going to watch one Zoom of the commissioner giving his announcement and 30 potential picks, or like, you know what I mean? Like, is it going to be a dead giveaway as far as who they're picking because they're going to immediately pan to that person?
That's a good point. I think they're going to, have each family's going to have their own like Zooms set up or whatever, maybe for
Right.
and then once it gets announced, so that'll probably be delayed. Like they might say, Mario Gallo's getting picked with the second pick.
Oh, no, Mario Gallo's
Right.
not getting picked by anybody.
And then 10 seconds later, they showed the clip of Mario and his family
Sure.
type of thing. It's probably how
in their separate houses.
Well, normally, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've got the facility where, everybody from, like, we'll take the Eagles. so everybody's in their room, down at the facility, right?
Mhm.
And there's 2 reps sitting at the table waiting for the phone to ring,
Right.
because at that point, what are they given? 5 minutes, 10 minutes in between picks, whatever it is?
You get 10 minutes to the first round.
Okay, so they get 10 minutes and they keep panning back and forth between the table and the room. So what difference, what are you not going to have? You're still going to have the room,
Right.
right? You're going to phone the pick into the commissioner, who is going to be where? At his office,
His basement.
right?
Yeah, in his basement.
The thing that you're going to miss, you're going to miss all the bells and whistles of the kids in the green room. You know what I mean? The
Right.
top 20 picks, the top 25 picks. The excitement in number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And then the case of the guy who doesn't get picked that was supposed to get picked in the top 5.
Right.
So what do you truly, to answer Lauren's question, what are you missing? What are you physically missing from the draft? You're missing,
The crowd.
room where all the teams are.
You're
Right.
just going to miss the bro hug with Goodell and the
With
player.
the commissioner, right? And they'll probably do some TikTok, kind of thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, Jerry Jones, has 900 people in the Cowboys room to make a god awful pick.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The interesting part's going to be, you'll know if it's fixed or not if they actually have the right baseball cap to put on of the team.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, they have to know ahead of time.
Not necessarily, because a
they
lot of
won't.
these kids, they might have 5 or 6 different hats, because
Right.
I think they do know, like, I could get picked by team A, team B, team C. They have it narrowed down to those. Yeah, there's going to be the off the chart, pick, and he's going to put the NFL hat on, with the NFL shield and not that team.
Well, I wonder if the NFL in these circumstances would just give all 32 hats to a guy. And
You would
What,
think
everybody in the first round?
no, I mean,
Yeah.
anybody for the draft, they might have them.
Right.
What is it, 200.
What do the hats cost? $3?
Right.
$3 a hat, right? So
Yeah.
you got $100. Big deal.
Yeah, you figure 250 players or whatever that they would give them out to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just because it's of the circumstances, because otherwise, that's the part, just with everybody else, with kids with graduations and that kind of stuff, like these
Can I
guys.
make the announcement for the Eagles right now, who they're going to draft?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
With the 21st pick, the Philadelphia Eagles take wide receiver from Baylor University, Denzel Mims.
Okay.
How they do?
All right, you heard
Carl
it here
Henderson
first.
insight, or is that like a known thing? Is that what a lot of insiders across the board are thinking?
A lot of mock drafts.
Yeah, Mims is probably the choice at 21 because all the other guys will be gone.
And I'll be honest with you, if it's him, I think he's a steal at 21.
Where's he from?
Mom wants him to vote up.
I want him to vote up too.
She's got her hammer out.
Where's he from?
Baylor, right?
Baylor.
Yes,
Well, you just gotta be careful. You got your back to her. She's gonna give you the hammer to you
I know. It's the way I live my life,
on the edge.
with my back to her.
God.
Sorry, that's all I got.
So Cincinnati has the first pick, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And they're picking a quarterback who I've also never heard of.
Really?
Did he go to Penn State?
No. No, but
I've
they
never
won the
heard.
national championship there this year, and they blew out everybody.
Wow. All right. Best of luck to him. So, is there any chance he doesn't go first?
They trade the pick.
Right.
No, he'll be the number 1 pick.
Okay.
Joe Burrows will be the number 1 pick.
Regardless of what team it is.
Yes.
And he'll be used to playing with no fans because Cincinnati don't get no fans.
She should be on the front line. Her jokes just keep coming.
That background commentary.
Huh?
Oh my God.
And he's used to playing with no fans.
She's only been drinking for 3 hours.
3 hours, Mom. I told you 5 o'clock.
I don't work at 6.
Well, even
Not supposed to tell anybody.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh my God.
Oh, so
Gotta love the coronavirus.
is the NFL impacted now that they have their first 2 cases? Does this change anything across the board for them?
I
Absolutely.
think it
I mean,
will.
I think everything with training camps and stuff are all
Yeah.
going to be.
Right.
I mean, how could you, technically next week, well, 2 weekends, the last weekend of April is the first mini camps for the rookies.
Right.
I mean, how can you have them all banging against each other and sweating and, so yeah, no, I think it's gonna, that'll be the last, hiding factor, I guess, or that we're still gonna have a season to start this, without a delay. Though
Right.
once that starts getting delayed, you'll see that things are gonna get pushed back because everything else is gonna get pushed back, all the other
Right.
OTAs and stuff. So
Yeah, I think going forward, I think everything's going to be different, even next year.
I mean, just look how fast it spread in the NBA. You
Right.
know,
Well, and that was my question. I mean, they're the worst hit of all 4, right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's because of all the sweat and the contact that they have.
Well, they also have the uniforms that cover the least amount.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and you got the basketball that everybody's touching with their hands.
Right.
Then you got somebody else touching your face. So,
But
yeah.
did you guys not think? I know I did. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. I thought there were going to be a lot more NBA players that were going to test positive because of this.
Did they test them all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have thought so as well. Because I mean, there was probably about 12 teams.
I think when they made the decision to shut it down, that's what prevented it from really spreading.
Right.
Yeah, but the one guy that tested positive with, with Utah,
Mm-hmm.
we went back, 3 or 4 teams, and a bunch of those guys, only 1 or 2 guys tested positive.
Right.
Right.
I thought it would have been a bigger number. I really did. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think these guys are in such great physical shape. They're unique, their systems and they've built up, a muscle mass that, they have 0 body fat. They probably, can fight off so many germs,
Well, and even if they couldn't, they're not likely to get it to the degree that somebody else would have. So even if they had a cough for a few days, they might not have thought anything of it.
Right.
True.
Yeah, they're not considered at risk.
Right.
the question that I have, and I probably should have done a little research so I don't look dumb. Has any hockey players tested positive? I haven't heard of any. Have you guys heard of anything?
I haven't.
I haven't.
Nothing
Yeah.
that comes to mind.
Yeah,
I haven't, no.
haven't heard any of them. And they share the same stadiums as the basketball players, so
Exactly.
Yeah, but they're the most protected, and they're not touching the puck themselves. And
Right. Have any? I think there was one baseball player tested positive.
2 of them with the Yankees.
2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the minors, couple of the minor league guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, see now with baseball, I think it would be more in the locker room type situation because there's not really a lot of contact.
Right.
So
well, that's why I think they're hoping they can do this. I just don't, if the reality was you can come back and in one day be tested and play is one thing, but because it takes 2 weeks,
that's the difference.
that really ruins everything because you also have different cameramen that are coming in from different teams, and I don't know how
Right.
to possibly do it.
Well, I mean, they could do that robotically.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I thought I seen something and it could have been fake news, but I thought they were saying something about cameras being done by drones.
They said
Sure.
they said for real, the umpires would be the robots. And
Right.
if you've seen, last year in the Atlantic League, which is the league that the Barnstormers play in, and independent league, that's where the Major League Baseball tried a lot of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's issues like anything else, but it worked enough that they think that they might be able to use it. I mean, between having no fans in the stadium and having an electronic robot tell you what the strikes and balls are, it just doesn't.
Well, and then what does that do for the game? I mean,
Right.
you almost become used to it, and then what?
Right.
What if they never bring real umpires back?
What if these robots are so good with a replay, and if you're safe at first, then they're going to say, why do we even need these umpires in the first place?
Well,
That's going to change the game forever.
Right.
wasn't it just the home plate umpires that they weren't going to have?
I guess, but every time I read something, it's something different. The problem is, to be honest, no one knows anything. They're just speculating.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because I thought it was just the home plate because that's the most contact or closest contact that you
right.
have,
Which could be. Which could be.
Right.
you know, and the others is first base.
So, a quick Google search for NHL players who've tested positive. 3 from the Colorado Avalanche
Oh, wow.
and 2 from the Senators are what pop up initially. So, which takes us back to the NBA thing. You said, I thought I would have heard more. Maybe there were more, and it just doesn't make it onto the mass media channels that we're all tuned into.
Right.
More, because I
Yeah.
haven't heard of these 5 guys.
Or the team doesn't report them.
Right.
Right. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it because, having the coronavirus now almost puts a target on your back.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, these are big stations, LA Times, CBS Sports that reported this stuff. But, I don't turn on ABC News and hear about 5 NHL players. So I'm sure there were more basketball players than we initially heard.
Right.
So,
And like you said, once they shut it down, it wasn't they could hush it.
right.
Yeah,
And, that was the worst decision just for everybody's excitement, but it was the best decision for what they needed to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely that. It's definitely that, and that's the college. It's affect college football. As well, like for the fall,
Right.
they're not going to be playing. So yeah, I mean just to think that it's over. In June, it's not going to, because then you're right back into the winter months again to have the virus come back.
Is there something that they could put on TV that would get people excited? People didn't seem to get too excited about the horse. The Major League Baseball hasn't really marketed this video game thing too much. I mean, is there anything at all other than old games that could get people through the summer? Because right now, everything they're throwing out doesn't really work.
I don't know. A lot of them are trying to steal our idea of the numbers game. Yeah.
So
I mean,
you
I
watch,
think-
John. They're gonna have that. They're gonna have that as a special on ESPN tomorrow.
Oh yeah. They
You
will.
watch.
I did see, they said on ESPN they're going to bring back some of those, those secondary sports that used to be popular, like on ESPN2, like the lumberjack races and all that stuff,
Mhm.
Right.
because you don't have to come in contact with anyone. So it's like log rolling and
No, what?
axe throwing and all that.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
it could be. I like watching some of the older replays of games, but you can't really get into them too much.
I don't watch old games.
Yeah. I mean,
Once you know who wins, it's hard to kind of get into it.
But it's so different
Right.
from watching a movie again that you already watched.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Nah,
Right.
it's different.
Is
yeah,
it?
Yeah,
a little bit. It takes the suspense out of it, or the energy out of it. The unknown, the unknown
I
factor.
don't watch sports to know what's going to happen.
Okay.
But no, it's definitely going to be challenging. The next little while.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, how could? Well, you would know this. How does the TV contracts work? If say the seasons were canceled, do the TV contracts have to be paid or?
Well, their contracts, I'm just guessing, are probably a little bit more intricate than ours. But for ours, like right now, as an example, if someone had a contract for this year, I'm calling them up with not much information, but calling them up on there's a scenario where we could play a full season, which, that means they'd have to extend the season, which I don't know that's going to happen. There's a partial season, let's say June, July, August, or we don't play at all. Our contracts, are basically saying, hey, if you had something for this year, we're going to roll you over for next year.
Right.
It's more of a conversation because we're, more of a small town, hometown. Those contracts, like I've seen naming rights to stadium contracts and things like that, those are like 15 or 20 pages with lots of legalese. Even I'm saying like the Big Phil's contracts are very, 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 very detailed. So I'm sure there are situations for everything. Now, I don't know if a pandemic is in there.
It will be now.
But I'm sure going forward it will, and I'm sure they're going to try to work with each other because everyone wants there to be games, but they might just have to slide everything a year back is what I'm imagining. Now, but that also brings up like what's on television on Saturdays in the fall, what's on television on Sundays in the fall. I mean,
Yep.
Old movie.
Monday night.
Yeah, what are you doing? It's going to be pro wrestling's the only thing that's going to be on at this point.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating.
It's
all you cool cats and kittens. I've been wanting to say that all night because.
Everybody else
all
is
right.
stealing
Basket.
our lines.
Huh?
Everybody else is stealing all our ideas, so we stole.
I stole a line from Tiger King.
Yeah, that bitch Harold Basket.
They're going to come back with new episodes.
Of what?
Tiger.
Tiger
I
King.
heard just one for now.
Them in jail?
Well, only Joey's in jail.
Let me tell you something. When
Spoiler alert.
when Trump exonerates him, you better be the first person to have him in the store because the line will be out the roof.
Yeah.
It'll
Out
be
the roof.
out the roof.
Out the roof. I'll get Mom to bring her hammer.
Yep.
Out the roof.
Is that past Rita's?
Way past reading.
All you cool cats and kittens.
Because I know.
Huh?
Well, no, just trying to get off this subject to get back to the baseball.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that the
Please defer
MLB,
from Tiger King.
the MLB, they were saying the reason why the players are able to get out of their contracts, like JT Realmuto will be a free agent, is they're getting a lesser pay for the year. Like it was,
Do they get paid?
well, supposedly the number is like $4 billion is what the players' contracts are, and with this deal that they made, I think it's 500 million maybe, or some low number, that lesser number than the 4 billion.
Yeah, the Players Association and the league and everyone agreed to that, which is
Right.
which is nice for the players to do that. It helps out everybody, but yeah, those players could be gone after this year.
Right.
And if you're JT Realmuto, I mean, you can't really blame him per se. I mean, you want him to take some hometown deal to come back, but like he's going to probably want to go somewhere and get paid.
Right, especially after losing a good chunk of this year's salary. Because
Right.
And apparently, in the next 2 weeks, the NBA is going to start cutting salaries by 25%.
Wow.
So
Mm,
I'm sure that's just a sign of what's coming.
right,
So,
yeah.
all right,
And
fellas,
it's 25% of what they're owed left.
I guess, yeah. It just an article. I think it came out earlier today. Was that they're going to start cutting those salaries by 25%. So they're going to see less and less as the paychecks come.
Mm,
Wow.
You feel bad for actually the guys, the old guys or the really young guys.
right.
The guy that's trying to make the team, or the old guys from AA or AAA where this is their last chance. That's who you really feel bad for because.
Absolutely.
Just like the high school kids that didn't get graduation, these guys might not ever be able to make the pros because of what happened this year. So
Mhm.
Hmm. Oh yeah, no, it's true. That's the disappointing
Yeah,
factor.
back.
Yeah.
Can I interject something here, because this would have been a comment, and Lauren, maybe you want to read it. Are you seeing the comments for tonight?
Yeah, I see some of them. Yeah.
Did you see the one from Steve Scalish?
I saw, that's long, but I saw it really well thought out.
So, well, he's basically saying that Ashburn had 9, phenomenal elite seasons, as he says,
Sure.
and that we're selling Richie short.
I don't think anybody's selling Richie short.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
I-
we sold him short at all. I think we all just gave Bernie the edge, which is exactly.
And from my personal standpoint, I've known Bernie for 25 plus years, and my decision is more personal than anything, because I can wrap my arms around Bernie. You know what I mean? Nobody's saying Richie wasn't great.
Right.
Right.
If Jim, what's Jim's the gentleman who ran the campaign to get Richie into the Hall of Fame, Jim Donahue. If Jim Donahue doesn't run the campaign and get all those signatures, does Richie get in the Hall of Fame with those elite numbers?
Right.
Well, I think what he's talking about, the comments on the page.
Right. He's talking about everybody else
Yeah.
not giving, not one other person voted for Richie.
Well, it's
Right.
It's easy. It's easy.
And Bernie took us down Broad Street for 2 championship
Right.
parades.
Right.
2 Stanley Cups. The Flyers have not gotten back to the Stanley Cup to win a championship since then.
Right.
There's a lot to be said about that.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's why everyone put him in second place, but it's a very close call. I mean, it's not his fault they didn't win any championships, but because
Right.
Bernie did,
Right.
you got to give it to him.
Pick
But
a different number next time. What can I tell you? I mean, that's what it boils down to. It sounds like if he was 2, he would be way better off.
No, because
just give it to Josh Richardson. Call it.
No, but Granny Hammer had that number.
Right.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what she's saying.
Granny Hammer has 2.
Granny Hammer, and I told you
Arm and Hammer.
she said
number 2.
he wore number
Arms
2.
brother.
So what you're saying, Carl, is Sue's hammered?
No.
No?
You got over there.
Oh my!
As he downs another drink.
Lauren, I thought you had control of the show.
I don't have any control. I sent the script, but
She got a margarita.
And talking about the script, you said I write novels.
How is that wrong?
Just saying. I'm just putting it out there. You said I write
Boys are
novels.
digging my clipboard now, huh?
Just saying.
It's a strawberry Rita.
But the grammar is right, and
Well, that's why I have my
Ouch.
everything's spelled right.
You have
It's
thinner
not a me or you,
fingers.
John.
Well, she has thinner fingers than I do. I got fat fingers. What can I tell you?
John, she taking a shot at you or me?
It's at me. It's all right. I was taking a shot back at her, so she battled back.
Hey, look,
It's all right.
we'll be back in the store in no time. Don't worry about it.
Are you part of
God.
phase 1?
Huh?
Are you part of phase 1? Is Carl's cards included in phase 1?
It is now.
I might not be around if it's phase 2 or 3. So,
Pull the Wild Wings in phase 1.
No.
all right, where we at? It's 7:34.
7:34, and my beer's empty, so.
I got places to go.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
to
you
the
do.
kitchen.
For the recliner.
No, I got to go potty.
All right.
That's too much information.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So I guess we're done until next Wednesday.
No, we're not done. Lauren,
So our takeaways for the evening, we will start with John. What do you got for us?
Well, just this number game is going to be fun. And it's obviously has a little bit of discussion going on, which is what it was designed for, to get the viewers to chime in and get more interaction with our viewers. So hopefully it kicks off.
Mine isn't anything, well, kind of what we talked about, but separate. It's kind of a question for next time. But with such a long delay in sports across the board, what does this do to the athletes physically, mentally, the young ones, the old ones, injuries? What does this look like when it starts back up again? Because players aren't in their same routine. They're not using the equipment, the facilities that they're used to. I mean, Claude Giroux the other day was like bench pressing his kid. So what does this do for athletes, and how impactful will this be for them for whenever they start again? Will we see an increase in injuries? Will old guys never make it back? I mean, Vince Carter, when they canceled the NBA season, said, that's probably it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to see people retire sooner than we would expect them to because of this. I see this changing the face of sports probably forever.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see how many injuries we endure the first month or so that sports are really back to where they were before.
Yeah.
You, Carl.
What's your take?
To me, well, my takeaway is a couple things. One, I think we should extend an invitation to you to be on every week.
Well, we can't. How are we going to do that?
I don't know, but like everything in life, you need to figure it out.
Add it to my list.
Okay, Anthony, I would like to extend an invitation to you also. I know you're a busy pup, but I think you should try to make as many as possible.
Sure.
Listen,
All right.
I think with this, it's going to be possible.
John, well, we can't get on Zoom, so I don't.
We're on Zoom, so we're on the Zoom. We're on it now.
We're not live.
The stream to Facebook Live.
That's just
Yes.
Friday night.
Sorry,
You get out
excuse me.
Friday night.
You know, I mean, we got to figure out a way to be live to our people.
Right.
That's where our interaction with the people is important, you know, for us to communicate and for them to, you know, tell us, you know, their point of view and that sort of thing. So we need to figure that out.
We need to take the second show off of Friday. That just doesn't work. There's too many people on. There's too many people home. You could look at a Sunday.
Monday?
Yeah, I would say Monday and Wednesday instead of.
Right. But the Friday night thing just isn't working because this is 2 weeks in a row now that we've had issues.
And prior to that,
That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. But my takeaway is not a takeaway because it's more of an announcement for Wednesday night. Former Flyer, former Whaler. He just wrote a book. Andre Lacroix will join us.
Very cool.
So we will have a number 7 joining the show. So.
And John, do you know who he'll go up against off the top of your head?
Top of my head,
Right off the top, you got Bill Barber.
Billy Barber, which is going to be a decision that we have to make between.
Right,
LaCroix
we're gonna have to
and
make
Barber.
actually one hockey.
Number 7, you're going to have Jaws.
Ooh.
Ooh.
We're going to have Bobby Wine, most likely.
Spud Davis.
Ooh,
Spud Davis.
Bud Davis.
Why is the chair so far back? Bring the chair forward.
Spud Davis.
My takeaway is that she always needs to be on the show, but as far back as possible.
I don't know how I do it. I really don't.
Spud Davis.
I don't know how I do it.
Still working. We got to work on the Flyers and the Sixers.
All right, Mario, your takeaway.
I don't even know if I have any takeaways. We've discussed pretty much everything. I have a feeling we're going to see all 4 sports start at the same time. I really do. At some level, not regular season, but I think you're going to have all 4 sports start within a month of each other. I think people are realizing that there actually is other things to do. Unfortunately, I think you're probably going to get and with us, sports is affected just like we're affected. We have nobody commenting and joining our show, and it's just us talking to one another, there's a difference in the show. Not saying that it's bad, it's just different. So I don't know. It's I think you're going to see a lot of changes coming up. Some for the good, some not for the good.
A lot of honeydew lists are going to be finished.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to see a lot of divorces after this too. That's it. That's all I got.
Right.
So that's more than 6 feet of separation.
That's called 50% separation.
You know, probably the most intelligent guy here on the panel. Anthony, do you have a takeaway?
Ugh.
No, I mean, just from being in all these different, meetings and conference calls with all these teams, I think the people behind the scenes are really, really trying more than anyone sees here to try to figure this out. But as someone sort of inside looking at it and wanting to play more than anyone else, because I get paid from that, and that's how that's how my career is. I want to play more than anything else, but I just don't see it happening. And I don't know what the summer's going to bring. I mean, the off days in the summer, because I'm at the stadium and I'm working and not watching baseball, my off days are going to Pittsburgh or going to Philadelphia or going to somewhere to watch an actual baseball game to relax. And, even if we have some extra events at the stadium, I don't know what I do on a summer Sunday night, because I've never had that before in my life. So, I don't think I'm alone. I think there's, 160 other minor league teams where the same people are trying to figure it out. But more for the casual fan in general, I just think it's going to be a tough summer unless we figure out something to get us going. There's only so many books you can read and, TV shows you can watch after a while. So I just hope they get it together. I think people are working hard more than anyone sees. There's just not an easy answer because people are going to get sick. We can't do it. So
Right.
All right. So we're back here Wednesday night. Hopefully all will be good. And our guest will be former Flyer, Andre Lacroix.
Unless things change for Monday night.
Yeah, I mean, we can chat obviously offline about this and looking to move, so our next show would be Sunday or Monday night. That's fine too. And I think we truly just have to take it off of Friday.
Right.
So.
That's good for me because I'm missing all a happy hour. So
Yeah.
Fellas.
All righty.
sorry. We're all good.
Yep.
She's going to cut us off.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Take care.